Wanna be free. Free to dance and free to sing.
This is WGNW LP 95.7 FM, The Choice, Candler, Asheville.
Programming at 95.7 The Choice is made possible with the generous support of business partners like Area 22 Guitars. Area 22 Guitars is Western North Carolina's only boutique guitar shop. Whether it's an American-made all-tube hand-wired amp like Matchless, Divided by 13, Carr, or Fargen, or a U.S.-built custom luthier electric guitar brand like Anderson, PWE, Zion, Rowan, or Gatto, Area 22 Guitars specializes in the unique needs of the discerning musician. They carry a full line of boutique effect pedals like Keeley, Exotic, Rockbox, Menatone, and Wampler. And their acoustic guitars include Breedlove, Larrivee, Eastman, Bedell, and Crafter. Area 22 Guitars, not your average guitar shop. For more information, go to area22guitars.com or call them at 828-884-2222. That's 828-884-2222.
95.7 The Choice would like to thank Dry Pros for their generous support. Dry Pros has 27 years of experience in the cleaning, restoration, mold remediation, and waterproofing of homes and businesses just like yours. Whether it's a routine cleaning or restoration from flood damage or mold, the team at Dry Pros has the experience to get it done right the first time. Cleaning all types of floors, windows, fine area rugs, and upholstery, they cover it all. For more information, their number is 828-277-9511. That's 828-277-9511, or visit them on the web at www.drypros.com. That's www.drypros.com.
Welcome to God's Great Land of the Wild radio show. Brought to you by Matthew Solocam, Catch Us If You Can, Buck Knives since 1902, Nightingale Game Call, Cross Trail Outfitters, Youth Hunting and Fishing Club, with your hosts, Brent Robert and Samuel Lee. Now, let's get ready to explore God's Great Land of the Wild.
All right, and welcome to the God's Great Land of the Wild radio show. This is your outdoor host for the next hour with my co-host, Samuel Lee. This is Brent. We're glad to have you along with us for the fly fishing ride today. And I hate when I do stuff like this, when I try to multitask and post up on Facebook and talk on the radio show. It's like my education in spelling stopped in third grade.
But you have no problem fly fishing and chewing gum.
Not at all.
So what's the difference?
Maybe fly fishing has come to the point where it's just sort of second nature, right?
Yeah, you can multitask with the things you love to do.
See, when I used to bass fish a lot, when I lived down in Florida for a while, it took me a while when we moved back up here to not get that cross their eyes swing with my fly rod, because I grew up fly fishing. And then I went into bass fishing. It was sort of like, you know, they busted you about being a wimp the way you set your hook. And then all of a sudden I come back to fly fishing, and it's sort of like...
That was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I grew up fly fishing. Then I started bass fishing. Then I came back to fly fishing, and it doesn't work. You don't set a hook with a fly rod like you do with the bass rod.
No, and my grandfather taught me how to tie a bass bug, which I have never seen anybody tie any like these, okay? And it mimics a dragonfly stuck in the water so well. And it's basically a deer hair bug that you leave the wings on long going across. Total width is about 4 inches, and then a log tail. You soak it in water as you're going out to your bass fishing spot. You know, in a canoe, you drag it behind you. And when you hit a hole in the lily pads of that thing and you start to shake it, it sends off the exact same waves that a dragonfly stuck in the water does. And all I would do was let it hit a hole, and I'd shake it, and then I'd put the fly rod down, okay? Because you know how bass take something, how they suck? Well, again, the reflexes with bass fishing just wanting to cross their eyes, they never get it in their mouth. So
there they go.
Yeah. That's for Sam, but we got the door locked, so he'll be able to stay with us through the show. You know, so I just got to the point where I would set it down. So anymore, the older I'm getting, the slower I've become. So that's not an issue anymore.
No.
So anyway, man, we're great. We're excited that you're along with us. What about the weather we're having, huh?
Hot.
Warming up the waters and the fishing and all those sort of things are getting good. Man, I know this. The turkeys are, boy, they are henned up tight, aren't they?
Yep, they are.
Man, and I've been seeing them all over the place with 3 or 4 hens, big old gobblers blowed up, gobbling. I mean, I can't wait till Saturday.
Well, I'm hoping they break up a little bit by then.
Yeah, and we're going to be up in the mountains anyway, so
Yep.
we're going to be running and gunning.
Yep.
And need to have our hiking boots on. I know that because we'll be covering some territory. And actually you and I were out last night scouting, driving around, and I got down by Hominy Creek, and there was a fella down there that was fly fishing. Did you see that guy had his pole boat up as we went around the corner?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there was a guy down the bottom of Hominy Creek. His pole was bowed up, and you could tell he was fighting a fish down in there. So I was like, yeah, it's that time of the year. And spring is here, and I, for one, am ready for it.
Yeah.
Lots of times I wish I could extend my hunting season with falconry and everything, but this year, for some reason, I'm done flying cat.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm getting ready to let her loose here in a week or two. So I'm excited about that. I want to have that responsibility hanging on me. And, today's show, I'm excited about it. Because there's one thing you and I constantly do, no matter where we go or where we travel, we're teaching and educating outdoor people, right? So, and that's what we want our show to do, correct?
That's right.
So, and especially when it comes to women in the outdoors. So we've got, today, and our guest is, what were you going to say?
Oh, nothing. I was going to say, we have the real expert with us today.
We do, and I'm excited about this, too. Because
we're putting her on the spot now. She's squirming over here.
No, she'll do well. The fastest growing segment in the outdoor industry is women in the outdoors
I
coming into
didn't
the
know
outdoors.
that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's why you see a lot of the outdoor shows wanting to have women on their shows.
Traditionally, if you look back to our grandfathers and beyond, that was a male-dominated sport, whether
Really was.
it's fishing or hunting or whatever. And now today, it's very common to run into a lady out in the stream fishing.
Yeah,
And I have nothing against that. That's
I think it's great.
Yeah.
What once was, they're better at it than we are, though.
Watch it.
I tell people all the time that guys get together to do projects. Let's go to Alaska fishing. We'll get together. We just don't get together. Let's get together and have a cup of coffee. We don't do that, do we?
No.
Ladies will a lot, and that's okay. That's a good thing. But here lately, it's been, you see the girls wanting to get together to go fly fishing.
Yeah.
I think it's a great thing, too.
Yeah. I do know this. They pay much more attention to detail than you and I do.
They do.
And that's probably what makes them better fly fishermen.
Oh, it definitely makes them better.
What would you call it? Fly fisher women?
Generic term.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can go
Just
both
want
ways
to
with
get
it.
it right.
Anyway, we have in the studio with us today Reba Brinkman. I want to make sure I get that. I might not get anything else right, but I'm going to get your name right, Reba.
You got it right.
With WNC Woman on the Fly, that's her website, and Hunter Banks Fly Fishing Shop. You got to add the S in on the Banks, and you won't want to miss this show as we dive into the deep end of fly fishing. Particularly, we're going to focus on you ladies, on what may really get you either involved or more involved and making you feel comfortable about being in the outdoors. But guys, don't step away too far, because there's always something to be learned, by people, especially people that, and we talk about this all the time, that are observant in their environment. And I'm constantly learning from people that are observing things that maybe I've missed.
Yeah.
And we're teaching all the time, but I think being observant and picking up those things and saying, wow, that person saw that, and putting it in my arsenal. And when I'm out there one day, I'll be trying all sorts of neat new, especially when it comes to nymph fishing. We were talking earlier about how it can be a little different.
Yeah. Every fisherman thinks they know it all, but the truth is, if we're paying attention, we should be learning.
Exactly.
So.
I won't get into it. I was told one time that fishing in the Little Garden River, coming out of Canada, that the king salmon would not hit because they were spawning. Well, they'll hit if you know how to fish for them and you get them set up right. People were telling me I was crazy. Yeah, they bit what I was
They got
doing.
the crazy part right there.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't want to miss this show today. You're going to want to stick around. And then on the outdoor life segment, Sam's going to share with us about fishing with his dad and his brothers, trout fishing in the Smokies, First, we're going to take a partner break, and then we'll be right back with fly fishing instructor Reba Brinkman, and we're going to be talking about fly fishing and trout fishing. We may even talk about a little saltwater fishing. I've even got a curveball for Reba on down the road, and we'll see you after these messages.
Supporting the local community. WGNW 95.7, The Choice.
95.7 The Choice would like to thank Dry Pros for their generous support. Dry Pros has 27 years of experience in the cleaning, restoration, mold remediation, and waterproofing of homes and businesses just like yours. Whether it's a routine cleaning or restoration from flood damage or mold, the team at Dry Pros has the experience to get it done right the first time. Cleaning all types of floors, windows, fine area rugs, and upholstery, they cover it all. For more information, their number is 828-277-9511. That's 828-277-9511, or visit them on the web at www.drypros.com. That's www.drypros.com.
Programming at 95.7 The Choice is made possible with the generous support of business partners like Area 22 Guitars. Area 22 Guitars is Western North Carolina's only boutique guitar shop. Whether it's an American-made all-tube hand-wired amp like Matchless, Divided by 13, Carr, or Fargen, or a U.S.-built custom luthier electric guitar brand like Anderson, PWE, Zion, Rowan, or Gatto, Area 22 Guitars specializes in the unique needs of the discerning musician. They carry a full line of boutique effect pedals like Keeley, Exotic, Rockbox, Menatone, and Wampler. And their acoustic guitars include Breedlove, Larrivee, Eastman, Bedell, and Crafter. Area 22 Guitars, not your average guitar shop. For more information, go to area22guitars.com or call them at 828-884-2222. That's 828-884-2222.
.7 The Choice would like to express our thanks to our business supporters like Ichiban School of Self-Defense. Ichiban Mixed Martial Arts provides a safe, family-oriented environment for people of all ages and skill levels to be able to train and prosper, both mentally and physically. Whether your interests are physical fitness, self-defense, competition, or just a healthy outlet for stress release, Ichiban Mixed Martial Arts will provide the tools to reach your goal. Their programs provide a well-rounded, athletic approach to martial arts in a safe, fun, family environment. For more information, go to ichibanmma.com. That's ichibanmma.com, or call them at 828-423-0662. That's 828-423-0662.
All right, this is your outdoor host, Brent, with my buddy Sam, and we want to introduce to you our friend, fly fishing instructor and guide, Reba Brinkman, with WNC Woman on the Fly. That's her website, and Hunter Banks Fly Fishing Shop. Reba, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you both, Brent and Sam. Thanks for inviting me, and it's a real pleasure to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. We were excited about switching things up a little bit and getting some ladies involved with what we do. And also having a show that was more geared towards women in the outdoor. We have them every once in a while as we can find ladies that are leading the charge in what they love to do and their passions. So we're excited about you being here. But before we get knee deep in the trout fishing waters, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I moved to Asheville, North Carolina about 8 years ago. And I moved here from Colorado.
Right.
Colorado was a place where I discovered fly fishing. So
Okay.
it's been over a decade that I've been fly fishing. But it's been a constant ever since the first day I picked up a fly rod. It's been a constant in my life, and it's something that I've turned into a career. So if I were to say a little bit about myself, a lot of me is all wrapped around fly fishing, that's for sure.
Well, let me ask you a question then, because You said you got involved about 10 years ago, but how did you get involved? Did another lady invite you, or was it a relative, or?
In Colorado, you are surrounded by just majestic beauty,
Right.
and lots of water.
Mhm.
And I was an avid hiker, and I'd always come to these beautiful mountain streams. And sure enough, there was always somebody fishing in the waters. Male or female. I didn't necessarily pay attention to that.
Right.
And it was serendipitous that a coworker of mine invited me to go to an intro to fly fishing
Right.
class. So we ditched work one day and we went out, and it was an Orvis fly fishing 101
Right.
is what it was. And so we went to this river, the Big Thompson River in Colorado, and we started casting in a field, and then we started casting in the water, and it was instant gratification. It was instant, and I loved it. I loved being surrounded by the natural beauty, and it was constant from that point on.
Yeah. Well, and now you teach classes.
Now I teach classes.
Actually, you teach that exact class, aren't you?
I'm teaching that exact class. That's kind of why I mentioned it. No, but I am teaching that exact class, and it's called the Orvis 101, and it's actually free classes. It's a great way for anyone, male or female, to get involved with fly fishing and try it out. Being that it is free,
Right.
You could pick up some equipment that you don't have to purchase. You can come in, cast a fly rod, understand what the sport is about, and if it's something that interests you, then you can continue on with it.
Right. One of the biggest things, I think, as I see people, we were talking earlier about some trips that we had taken, and I had a couple guys with me that had never been fly fishing, was, is maybe that first trip getting a guide or somebody like yourself and learning how to cast, because I think that's the biggest obstacle, and it's not tough, right?
It's not tough. I mean, it does take patience.
Mhm.
If there's one skill that you should possess when you're coming into fly fishing, it's patience.
Right.
And I use golf as an analogy quite a bit. You can go and take some clubs and go to a golf range, but if you don't know how to play the game, you're not going to really enjoy yourself, and you're not going to be comfortable.
Right.
So, yes, I do encourage people to hire somebody that knows how to teach, not necessarily just somebody that knows how to fish, because there's a huge difference.
Gotcha.
And support your local fly shops, because they're the ones that are the true experts and they're passionate about it. They are willing to help you. You don't have to go in there and pay them money for them to talk to you. They will
Right.
answer your questions and help you succeed.
Well, and I think, too, a lot of people think sometimes, you could spend a couple $1,000s on a fly rod if you want to, but I'll bet you guys have entry-level fly rods for somebody that wants to get involved, that maybe is on a limited budget, but they're wanting to get out there and get fishing, and you guys are the experts on all that.
We certainly have entry level. We like to say, buy the best that you could afford.
Right.
Because, good gear. I recently took up skiing. Here I was living in Colorado in the middle of the beautiful ski country. Well, I learned to ski in North Carolina. And I tell you, I got into it. I rented skis. I got a cheap helmet. I didn't have the right clothes, and I didn't enjoy it at first. It was cold, and I was
Right.
uncomfortable. And that proved to me that, what I do when I'm selling quality fishing gear is making that angler comfortable, whereas when I was skiing uncomfortably, I didn't have any desire to really get any better.
Right.
So that I learned my lesson.
It's much better to spend a little bit of money and get some lessons, try out some equipment, see what fits you best, rather than just going out here and equipping yourself and then being
Absolutely.
disappointed. That's big bucks when you buy it and then you got to return it and get something else. And I'd much rather try it with someone else's equipment. And then I
Absolutely.
go buy what I know fits me.
And you get a lot of that information by, the people that you're going to see. Hunter Banks, Reba, whatever it
It's
may
great
be.
that they do that.
Let me ask you this, and I know you were worried about this because you do so many things, but I want you to share with our listeners just the things that you are doing. One, I think it's an encouragement for people who want to get involved in the outdoors, because listening to your story earlier about, how you were in the corporate world and those type of things, and how you got into fly fishing and how it became a passion, and and now you're able to live out what you love to do each and every day.
Mm-hmm.
But just share with our listeners what you do as far as the hats that you wear.
Well, my entry into the fly fishing as a career was in a fly shop. I started working at Hunter Banks here in Asheville. We've been in business for about 28 years. And I was literally just working behind a cash register and helping our patrons come in, selecting flies. I'd fished the area enough to where I knew how to help them. Being of corporate background, I had to be involved in things. I had to be involved with projects, with groups. So one of the first things I did was I started WNC Women on the Fly, and it's a blog and website that really is just a resource to women and a place for women to see and hopefully be inspired. That's my true reason for the website. I want them to be inspired that women are doing this. We've done it for years.
Right.
This is not anything new. It's not an old boys club unless you make it that for
I agree.
yourself. So that was the first introduction. Been involved with Trout Unlimited for a very long time. So that's another hat that I wear is Trout Unlimited. Also, I'm the expo manager for the WNC Fly Fishing Expo.
Okay.
This year will be our fourth or fifth expo that we've done, and it's an expo for the fly fishing community of Western North Carolina.
Oh, cool.
We have all the fly shops there. We have manufacturer reps. There's a casting pond.
Right.
It's a big event that's brought out upwards of 1,500 people over the course of a weekend. So it's a place to get educated, take a casting lesson, check out all the new and latest and greatest equipment. So that's something that I put on as well.
Right.
I do a lot of events through Hunter Banks. Like just last week we did the fly fishing film tour, and that was a collective of fly fishing films, and we went out to Highland Brewery and showed them to a great audience. And I do that every single year.
Cool. Now
there's about 50 other things. We'll just stop there.
I was going to ask you a question. Now it's just going to end up leaving me. Oh, when the Fly Fishing Expo, when does that typically take place? What time of the year?
We are doing it this year the first weekend of December, but typically
Okay.
it's been in November. But this year we've pushed it back a little because we've had such great falls that we don't want to get into the guide seasons of some of
Right.
our guides that like to participate. So we're doing it in
Sure.
December this year.
And now, will that be out at the? Will it be here at the Civic Center? Is it down in Fletcher?
It's at the WNC Ag Center, which
Okay.
is in Fletcher across the airport. Yeah.
Very good. And I'm sure if they go to Hunter Banks, you guys have an email that you send out to keep people up to date on all that sort of
We
stuff?
do.
Or your Women on the Fly website?
Yes, sir. We have my Women on the Fly. You can contact me through there. Hunter Banks has a newsletter that goes out, and you can contact us to get on that mailing list.
Also, if they go to your website, they can get on your tweet list. You know more than this than I do because I don't tweet.
Yeah,
Correct?
Twitter. I'm very big on Twitter.
He tweets when he's turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Exactly. My Twitter handle is flygirl_Reba, and I do post a lot about fishing and various outdoor activities there as well.
Well, cool. Right now, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a partner break, and then we'll be right back. You're listening to the God's Great Land of the Wild radio show on 95.7 The Choice. And we've got Reba Brinkman with WNC Woman on the Fly. She's also out at Hunter Banks Fly Fishing Shop. I've posted a bunch of stuff up on Facebook.com, God's Great Land of the Wild, links to all those sort of things, and I'm sure we'll be posting more up there as we go along and later on. And I'll get over this real quick. We'll be right back after these messages.
Supporting the local community. WGNW 95.7 The Choice.
95.7 The Choice would like to thank Dry Pros for their generous support. Dry Pros has 27 years of experience in the cleaning, restoration, mold remediation, and waterproofing of homes and businesses just like yours. Whether it's a routine cleaning or restoration from flood damage or mold, the team at Dry Pros has the experience to get it done right the first time. Cleaning all types of floors, windows, fine area rugs, and upholstery, they cover it all. For more information, their number is 828-277-9511. That's 828-277-9511, or visit them on the web at www.drypros.com. That's www.drypros.com.
Programming at 95.7 The Choice is made possible with the generous support of business partners like Area 22 Guitars. Area 22 Guitars is Western North Carolina's only boutique guitar shop. Whether it's an American-made all-tube hand-wired amp like Matchless, Divided by 13, Carr, or Fargen, or a U.S.-built custom luthier electric guitar brand like Anderson, PWE, Zion, Rowan, or Gatto, Area 22 Guitars specializes in the unique needs of the discerning musician. They carry a full line of boutique effect pedals like Keeley, Exotic, Rockbox, Menatone, and Wampler. And their acoustic guitars include Breedlove, Larrivee, Eastman, Bedell, and Crafter. Area 22 Guitars, not your average guitar shop. For more information, go to area22guitars.com or call them at 828-884-2222. That's 828-884-2222.
.7 The Choice would like to express our thanks to our business supporters like Ichiban School of Self-Defense. Ichiban Mixed Martial Arts provides a safe, family-oriented environment for people of all ages and skill levels to be able to train and prosper, both mentally and physically. Whether your interests are physical fitness, self-defense, competition, or just a healthy outlet for stress release, Ichiban Mixed Martial Arts will provide the tools to reach your goal. Their programs provide a well-rounded, athletic approach to martial arts in a safe, fun, family environment. For more information, go to ichibanmma.com. That's ichibanmma.com, or call them at 828-423-0662. That's 828-423-0662.
Okay, we're back, and you're listening to God's Great Land of the Wild radio show, and we're talking with fly fishing instructor Reba Brinkman about trout fishing and women getting outdoors and into hunting and fishing. We've already mentioned how the fastest growing segment of the outdoor hunting and fishing industry is women getting into the outdoors. Doesn't matter whether it's, Sam, probably one of the greatest woman hunters I know is a young woman of a friend of ours who's 13 years old, and she's been all over the place and shot about everything, huh?
Rebecca Harrison.
And we got to videotape her shooting a 708-pound black bear. She's obviously an outdoor woman. Reba is up in that same category.
She killed a turkey Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So anyway, Reba's up in there with the fly fishing stuff, and I'm sure just seeing the things that she's involved in, and you're getting the tip of the iceberg. If you really want to get it all, you really need to go over to Hunter Banks and end up talking to her while she's over there, because she's really got a lot of information for you ladies, and you guys can learn something too. I'm learning a lot already. But for the ladies, man, if you're looking for a place to be comfortable, Reba would be the one, that's for sure. And I know my wife is that way, Reba. I mean, she, Kathy, she likes going to the women clinics, whether it's shooting or fly fishing or fly tying, and learning. Mm-hmm. Do you get a lot of women coming in for that exact reason, or?
You know, I think in the 5 years I've been at Hunter Banks, I certainly see women that gravitate towards me, and they say it's so nice to be outfitted by a woman or taught by a woman, because they feel that fly fishing is very intimidating. Mm-hmm. And I know how they feel. I totally know how they feel. And I'm glad that I can be that resource. But quite surprisingly, I've had more men tell me how great it is that I could help them, because they don't have to have that ego, that male ego. There's nothing to prove. Right. And you know, we kind of laugh about it in the shop quite a bit. You know, guys will come in and they'll know everything, and then I get a hold of them and they'll just puddle in front of me and say, "Okay, I submit. What do I need to do?" And, you know, I won't mention any names. I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Say, are you suggesting men have ego?
Oh, I
no, not at all.
She was.
So I won't tell you guys. I won't tell anybody. You guys were there just a few minutes ago. I'm just kidding. No, but yeah. You know, when it comes to outfitting, it's about who you're most comfortable with, and
Right.
and I feel very honored that women do gravitate towards me because I have a language that I could speak with them, and they feel very comfortable in telling me things that they might not feel comfortable telling a man.
Right. Well, they're great places to just go and hang out and see what's new and what's going on too. I mean, my schedule is so hectic that I rely a lot. Going to Walmart, unless you want something that says made in China, you're wasting your time, and especially if you're going to get anything of informational value that you need. So first of all, you can't really buy any good flies at Walmart. I mean, that's just hands down, period. It's done. It's over with. So going in and out of the local fly shops and stuff like that, I mean, my fly fishing is so seasonal that I rely on those guys. So I give them my business because I can go in and I know I can ask, hey, if I'm going over to Watuga, what's happening? And I know I'll get what's happening lately, So you're talking with people that have been on the water.
Absolutely. We're on the water every single day. We have somebody on the water.
Right. So, hey, and if you go to facebook.com, God's Great Land of the Wild, you can get all sorts of links to Reba's website, to Hunter Banks' website. We've got some other resources up there that you can go in and there's all sorts of links going all over the place off of those two websites alone. All right, Reba, tell us your latest trout fishing news.
Trout fishing news. Well, it's the change in the weather. We had a cold front come through last week, warms up this week, and my gosh, the bugs are really starting to pop. So good dry fly fishing is happening right now. So if you're a dry fly person, you like to throw something on top of the water, now's the time that it really gets hot. So we have some white Cahills coming off. We have March Browns coming off still. Stoneflies are about to get very active. Subsurface flies will work this time of year just great. So if you like to nymph fish, right now there's plenty of opportunities. We're still in our delayed harvest season, so we have 1,100 miles of catch and release water.
Oh, man, thank you.
And the hatchery supported waters has opened up as of the first Saturday in April, so there's some catch and keep opportunities out there as well. So right now we're just really in prime trout season.
Yeah, there's probably some people won't like me hearing the same, but I'm a zero limit type of guy. I like catch and release, and I like the delayed harvest. Matter of fact, I think we should take a large portion of our delayed harvest and make it, trophy waters, put and take. But anyway, that's my personal opinion on that. I just like catching fish and releasing them. What are some of your current projects that you're involved in right now? I know you've got some training coming up, and we've touched on it a little bit. But if I were to show up at your training, I think it's on April 27th coming up, right? If I were to show up for that, what would the day look like, or the 2 hours, or how long is it?
Well, this is it's a short clinic, so the time is not set yet, but it's a 2 to 3 hour clinic, and we will go into rigging a fly rod, so you're very comfortable putting together your own equipment, putting on a leader, tying flies, certain knots, like essential knots. There's just a couple that you need to know.
Right.
So I'll make sure that you are competent in tying those knots. And then we'll do a very involved casting lesson. I want you to be very comfortable with casting by the time you leave the clinic. So the day will just be talking about equipment and understanding what you need for fly fishing and kind of the right tools and tricks, if you will.
Do you guys get into entomology any? Like if I go to a stream?
We are going to do that in our 201 clinics, and the 201 clinics are going to come a little bit later. But the intro to fly fishing is strictly about gear and casting, because casting is obviously what makes fly fishing a lot different than any other type of fishing.
Right, and I think it's the essential portion and the one that most people just don't know if they're doing it right or not. So, and that can be the frustrating part getting in. Now, so you're having a clinic on the 27th, the 4th
of May,
and the 25th of May.
Yes.
Cool. So there's 3 opportunities to be involved in getting your foot in the water, even if you're you've been in it a while, but you're wanting to get deeper information, or am I doing this? I know a lot of times I look at things and be thinking, there's got to be a better way to rig a strike indicator than the way that I'm doing it.
Absolutely. There's always something to learn. This is definitely designed for the beginner, but we will go into some intermediate skills as well.
Okay. Say a lady wants to go deeper and wants to learn if this is for her, what's available?
There's lots of clinics available. I know the Wildlife Commission offers free fly fishing classes throughout the year, and you would have to go to their website to find that out. There's always a clinic at Hunter Banks. I'm an instructor and a guide, and you can certainly call me and we can schedule some time to do some training as well. So I am for hire. But there's always stuff going on. I mean, we're in a very fishy community. Western North Carolina, 5,000, 6,000 miles of public trout water, within striking distance of where we're sitting right now. I mean, we really are the hub of fly fishing in the Southeast. So there's places out there that will support any angler that comes to them wanting to learn.
Gotcha. Now, let me ask you, and we're pretty much in a 365-day-a-year fly fishing area, aren't we?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I fish year-round. I have not taken a month off in fly fishing since I moved here, pretty much.
And I'm going to tell you, I think some of the prettiest time to go is when it's snowing even.
Mm-hmm.
I just like being out on the streams when we're getting a good snow. All right, tell us about your most memorable fly fishing experience.
Well, there's a ton, but I'll tell you about the most recent memorable.
That'll work.
I recently discovered fishing in the ocean for redfish.
Cool.
I went down to Charleston and somebody recommended a guide to me. It was Scotty Davis from Low Country Fly Shop. He said, go down, meet this guide, hire him for a day, and you gotta go try this. And there I was, 6:30 in the morning. It's still dark outside. I'm meeting my guide at a dock, one of the tidal rivers, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I got that new person get jitters again. I was as new as can be, and I was scared. My knees were shaking, and it felt like I'd never touched a fly rod before. And we got out there, and once I saw those fish, my knees buckled, and when I landed my first one, it brought tears to my eyes. I was so excited and can't stop thinking about it, actually.
Were you sight fishing for them then?
I was sight fishing for them, yeah. It was the winter bite, so they were all schooled up in the rivers there. And
did you tie your own flies?
Not for that occasion, no. I let the professional do that.
Do you find it special about tying your own flies and catching fish on them?
I do. I really do. It comes full circle. I do a lot of biomonitoring, which is, looking at the health of our rivers and discovering what insects are living in there, which defines, the health of the river. And then going from seeing the actual creature to then taking it to the vise and tying it, and then fooling a trout into thinking that that's the real thing. That is really just a great experience all around.
It really is. And we're talking with our friend Reba Brinkman about fly fishing and resources available for girls and fly fishermen just in general, about her passion for trout fishing and saltwater fishing, educating the ladies on fly fishing. We'll be right back with more God's Great Land of the Wild Radio on 95.7 The Choice with our guest fly fishing instructor Reba Brinkman. We'll see you right after these messages.
Supporting the local community. WGNW 95.7 The Choice.
95.7 The Choice would like to thank Dry Pros for their generous support. Dry Pros has 27 years of experience in the cleaning, restoration, mold remediation, and waterproofing of homes and businesses just like yours. Whether it's a routine cleaning or restoration from flood damage or mold, the team at Dry Pros has the experience to get it done right the first time. Cleaning all types of floors, windows, fine area rugs, and upholstery, they cover it all. For more information, their number is 828-277-9511. That's 828-277-9511, or visit them on the web at www.drypros.com. That's www.drypros.com.
Programming at 95.7 The Choice is made possible with the generous support of business partners like Area 22 Guitars. Area 22 Guitars is Western North Carolina's only boutique guitar shop. Whether it's an American-made all-tube hand-wired amp like Matchless, Divided by 13, Carr, or Fargen, or a U.S.-built custom luthier electric guitar brand like Anderson, PWE, Zion, Rowan, or Gatto, Area 22 Guitars specializes in the unique needs of the discerning musician. They carry a full line of boutique effect pedals like Keeley, Exotic, Rockbox, Menatone, and Wampler. And their acoustic guitars include Breedlove, Larrivee, Eastman, Bedell, and Crafter. Area 22 Guitars, not your average guitar shop. For more information, go to area22guitars.com or call them at 828-884-2222. That's 828-884-2222.
.7 The Choice would like to express our thanks to our business supporters like Ichiban School of Self-Defense. Ichiban Mixed Martial Arts provides a safe, family-oriented environment for people of all ages and skill levels to be able to train and prosper, both mentally and physically. Whether your interests are physical fitness, self-defense, competition, or just a healthy outlet for stress release, Ichiban Mixed Martial Arts will provide the tools to reach your goal. Their programs provide a well-rounded athletic approach to martial arts in a safe, fun, family environment. For more information, go to ichibanmma.com. That's ichibanmma.com, or call them at 828-423-0662. That's 828-423-0662.
All right, welcome back. We're God's Great Land of the Wild radio show, and we're talking with Reba Brinkman about fly fishing and resources available for specifically women. And also, guys, don't be put off. I found some really good information in there, and actually read some really good things from a lot of, well, listen, one of probably the best fly fishermen with the last name of Wolf has been around a while and is recognized as probably one of the top lady fly fishermen that there is, and probably there's not a lot of guys that would equal. Don't you agree? Do you
I
think so?
totally agree. Joan Wolfe is amazing and very inspiring. You know, she really stepped it up and is an advocate for women anglers, but also just fly fishing in general.
Right. And matter of fact, Trout Unlimited, I know you're involved with the local group around here. Tell us about your involvement, because you actually they allowed you to play hooky tonight, because they actually had a meeting tonight.
Sorry, guys.
And allowed you to come be with us. Thank you. So tell us your involvement with Trout Unlimited.
Well, Trout Unlimited, I've been involved with the Land to Sky chapter, which is the chapter here in Buncombe County. I am actually the conservation chair.
Okay.
So my involvement is looking at conservation issues. It's a conservation group. I coordinate the river cleanups when we do the river stockings. Our adopted river is the North Mills River, and so when we do a stocking, we also do a river cleanup, which I lead. And then that helps us maintain that river, but it also makes those that participate aware of, just the kind of the trash that's around, and
right.
And hopefully it inspires people not to litter around a beautiful stream. Another thing that I've started at the Trout Unlimited group this year is I actually hold a fly fishing clinic a half an hour before every meeting.
Oh, cool.
So if you're a member, you can come and sit in on this clinic, and we do everything from knots, or we did a nymph rig last time. Tonight, Jeff Curtis from Curtis Wright Outfitters is taking my place. Thank you, Jeff. And he's doing the river designations. So it's a very simple, non-intimidating. Come in, sit down, and learn a little, skill in relation to fly fishing, and then we go into our meeting.
Okay. And then what's something like that cost? A membership.
Membership is $35
Wow.
a year. For women, they are having a women's initiative right now. So Trout Unlimited memberships are free to women. So please take advantage of that. Get involved. We at our little chapter, we've seen an increase in women every single meeting. So we're really creating a nice, diverse group of women anglers that are participating.
So another area to get involved, even to go clean up a stream and get to meet other people who love to fly fish, and you'll always learn something, I'm sure, while you're there. I learned a lot about fly fishing by my adopted grandparents were Marge and Abe Hetty, and I met them on the fly stream, and she taught me how to tie flies, but he taught me to sit down and just watch a stream.
Yeah.
And watch what's going on with the flies that are emerging and stuff like that. And you can learn those types of things by people that are spending a lot of time on the stream. People that have a lot of love for cleaning up an area, because I'm like you. It drives me crazy when I go down the stream and I see beer cans or beer bottles or plastic bags. And, I just see it all the time, and it really drives me crazy. Okay, a curveball, because I'm into baseball.
Bring it.
Okay. You're also a shooting instructor.
Yes, I am.
Now,
Yes, I am.
what do you instruct? Which of the shooting sports do you instruct in?
I am a NSCA Level 1 sporting clay shooting instructor. So I strictly teach sporting clay shooting. So
Okay.
I teach shotgun shooting, essentially. I personally shoot a 12 gauge, and I don't hunt.
Right.
I would like to, but right now I don't have any time to add
Right.
anything to my life. But I do, on occasion, teach at Fowler Farms in Spring Creek. I
Okay.
teach sporting clays. They have an awesome course out there, just a really fun course. And I call it vegetarian hunting because we're shooting clay discs. And it is great fun. I teach a lot of women, and I will say, when I can get a woman that's never held a gun, shooting successfully, there is nothing like the demeanor that she takes on when she does something like that. And sporting clays is very rewarding for me. I wish I had more time to devote to it.
I hear you. I like anything that goes bang. Firecracker guns. I mean, anyway. So yeah, man. So there they go. They can go over and talk to you about fly fishing, and then
Bang, bang, too.
Mm-hmm.
it's incredible. I talked to you earlier about another guest we had. My wife's getting involved in shooting quite a bit. She's not a hunter, but she loves to shoot. It's incredible the amount of ladies that I'm seeing getting involved, and not just wanting to get involved in fishing, but it seems like when they get involved in fishing, the next thing is start picking up a pistol or a shotgun and shoot. It's really incredible.
Or vice versa, too. I've seen that quite a bit.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I always ask this question: who had the most influence on your life?
My husband, undoubtedly.
Right.
My husband is my best support, and he keeps me in line. And with him, I just have the best partnership.
I hear you.
And God, of course.
Yeah,
but
right. And he's watching you right now.
And he's
Both of
watching.
them are.
Yes, he is. Hey, Todd.
What are you, the death angel or something?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just making
Feel
sure.
some heat over here.
That's great too. I know.
Yeah.
I don't get enough time to fly fish with my wife. We've been up to the Big Laurel. She likes to go up there. But anyhow, it's good to have somebody that can. And he's a fly fisherman, I take it.
He
too.
is. He's an avid angler, yes.
Yeah. Does he like to hunt?
Not yet, honey. But I hope he gets to do it. No, he's an avid angler, and he's a very busy man. So he enjoys his time on the water.
I hear you. I used to trout fish a whole lot more than I do now. But anyway, Reba, you have any advice for ladies who maybe just sitting right on the line, they want to become involved in fly fishing, but maybe they're a little intimidated? What would you say to move them off the line?
You just got to do it. You just got to do it. I mean, there's no sense in waiting. I'm here. I'm ready for you. Come talk to me. I'll let you know really quickly if you're going to hate it. And I can't imagine that you would. With anything that you want to do, the more you hesitate, the less time that you can be doing something that might really change your life.
Yeah. Well, and the more time I find I got late into falconry. The more time I find now that I'm like, man, I wish I had taken this up 20 years ago. I enjoy it that much. So don't wait. Life's too short to do that. And Reba and Hunter Banks and TU, and there's a whole load of places out there for literally little money. You can start getting your feet wet to find out about, is this for me or not? And at the worst, you meet some super great people.
Right.
And I want to thank you, Reba, for sharing your passion for being outdoors, about fly fishing and being a fly fishing mentor, sharing your knowledge and your experience with us in God's great land of the wild today. And for more about fishing instructor Reba Brinkman and WNC Woman on the Fly and Hunter Banks Fly Fishing Shop, you can visit facebook.com. That was a lot. Facebook.com, God's Great Land of the Wild. And we've got links up there. I'm going to be posting up when we go into the next break where you can sign up for free right online if you're a lady for Trout Unlimited. And that would get you access to your training you do each month.
Absolutely. Correct? You'd get access to the newsletter, to the website. The website is simply landoskytu.com. That's our Buncombe County. But the TU membership is available to anybody throughout the nation. It's not strictly just North Carolina or Western North Carolina.
Very good. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with the Outdoor Life segment. Sam's going to share with us about fishing with his dad and his brothers, trout fishing in the Smokies. Stick around for more God's Great Land of the Wild.
Supporting the local community. WGNW 95.7, The Choice.
95.7 The Choice would like to thank Dry Pros for their generous support. Dry Pros has 27 years of experience in the cleaning, restoration, mold remediation, and waterproofing of homes and businesses just like yours. Whether it's a routine cleaning or restoration from flood damage or mold, the team at Dry Pros has the experience to get it done right the first time. Cleaning all types of floors, windows, fine area rugs, and upholstery, they cover it all. For more information, their number is 828-277-9511. That's 828-277-9511, or visit them on the web at www.drypros.com. That's www.drypros.com.
Programming at 95.7 The Choice is made possible with the generous support of business partners like Area 22 Guitars. Area 22 Guitars is Western North Carolina's only boutique guitar shop. Whether it's an American-made all-tube hand-wired amp like Matchless, Divided by 13, Carr, or Fargen, or a U.S.-built custom luthier electric guitar brand like Anderson, PWE, Zion, Rowan, or Gatto, Area 22 Guitars specializes in the unique needs of the discerning musician. They carry a full line of boutique effect pedals like Keeley, Exotic, Rockbox, Menatone, and Wampler. And their acoustic guitars include Breedlove, Larrivee, Eastman, Bedell, and Crafter. Area 22 Guitars, not your average guitar shop. For more information, go to area22guitars.com or call them at 828-884-2222. That's 828-884-2222.
.7 The Choice would like to express our thanks to our business supporters like Ichiban School of Self-Defense. Ichiban Mixed Martial Arts provides a safe, family-oriented environment for people of all ages and skill levels to be able to train and prosper, both mentally and physically. Whether your interests are physical fitness, self-defense, competition, or just a healthy outlet for stress release, Ichiban Mixed Martial Arts will provide the tools to reach your goal. Their programs provide a well-rounded athletic approach to martial arts in a safe, fun, family environment. For more information, go to ichibanmma.com. That's ichibanmma.com, or call them at 828-423-0662. That's 828-423-0662.
Okay, we're back, and you're listening to God's Great Land of the Wild radio show on 95.7 The Choice. I'm your host, Brent, with my co-host, Samuel Lee, and we were talking with Reba Brinkman about fly fishing and WNC Woman on the Fly, their website, and Hunter's Banks, and all sorts of fly fishing information is loaded up there. I just got done loading up the Trout Unlimited link for free membership for all you ladies. I would encourage you to do that. It's a no-brainer. So anyway, you need to do that, and feed your fly fishing passion. That's all I got to say. And again, you can find out more about that on our Facebook site, facebook.com, God's Great Land of the Wild. Okay, Sam, you got something to share with us about trout fishing the Smokies?
Yes, I do. I vividly remember fishing with my dad in a small mountain stream in Haywood County in the Pisgah National Forest. The stream was called Middle Prong, and it's the middle feeder stream to a larger fork of the Pigeon River. And Dad loved to fish this section because of the abundance of native speckled trout. There's also brown and rainbow there, but there was a lot of speckled trout at that time. One very noticeable thing about this stream is the roughness of the terrain. The water's very rapid and the rocks are very slippery, and it's a very steep climb as you start fishing up to the Blue Ridge Parkway. I was about 7 years old when my dad first took me fishing in Middle Prong. The fishing was a bit slow that day, but they were biting. We had arrived at the stream late, so Dad was in a hurry to get in as much fishing as he could before dark. I remember those days trying to get ahead of everybody and getting to that next hole. And as he hopped from rock to rock in the stream, he began to get ahead of me. And I remember looking up at one point to discover that my dad was nowhere in sight. Scary feeling. I began to yell at the top of my voice, and I tried to get my dad's attention, but he had moved around the bend. The rushing water drowned out all my cries for him. Every fear imaginable ran through my mind. As I gritted my teeth and jumped from rock to rock, hurrying as fast as I could, I slipped and fell a few times in the cold water. But I clearly remember pushing on with perseverance. Finally, I saw Dad around the bend. He had been watching me all the time. I learned that through time, that tough time, that there was always the ability to persevere during that tough time. I also learned that my dad would not leave me, although I might think I was alone. This reminds me, especially this time of year with it being Easter, of how Jesus pressed on for us when he went to Calvary and hung on the cross. He had the power to save himself from this situation, but he didn't. He chose not to. He chose to persevere until the end for you and for me. We also need to persevere in our faith. Steadily, persistent, and adherent to the Word of God, regardless of the difficulties we encounter. And this story was written by my brother, Kevin Bennett. And this is such a great reminder that in life, we will have struggles. We will have difficulties around every corner. And although we will make mistakes, I know especially you, Brent, you make plenty of them, so do I. But even though we make a lot of mistakes, our Heavenly Father is always there to pick us up when we fall. When we slip on that rock, we fall, he picks us up to help us get back on the stream and continue fishing, which is life. That's what we're doing. But that's only true if we follow his instructions. Kevin, thank you for this reminder. In James chapter 1, verse 3, it says, "Know this, that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." I was talking with Reba earlier. In order to be an accomplished trout fisherman, you've got to persevere. There's going to be days when they're not going to hit every cast. But if you keep pressing on and keep casting, you will begin to catch fish, and the days will get better. Likewise, in life, with God's help, we can persevere and make it through all the difficult challenges that this world throws at us. This is Sam Bennett. Enjoy God's great land of the wild, and enjoy his creation. We'll see you next week on God's great land of the wild.